Can the Creality K1C convince where the K1 fell flat on its face? Hallo und Glück auf! I am Jan and I have to admit that I was surprised by the K1C. Let me tell you why in this video. Disclaimer: the K1C was provided to me by Geekbuying for this review, but neither they nor Creality have any influence on my opinion or this video. So, back to the actual topic. The K1 had an extremely bumpy start, and it looks like Creality used its customers as testers to find all the problems, be it a faulty extruder or Hotend, the missing root access that was only added later, and problems with ringing or ghosting. With the K1C, you really have to admit that Creality has learned. If the K1 had been like the K1C when it was released, Creality would not have had to accept such a serious loss of image. The technical specifications of the K1C are of course similar to those of the K1. The print volume is also 220 by 220 by 250 mm. The standard speed of 300 mm per second can be turned up to 600 mm per second as well. The acceleration is also like the K1, up to 20,000 mm per second squared. The list of supported filaments are PLA, PETG, PET, TPU, PA, ABS, ASA, PC, and of course the filaments which gave the K1C the C in its name: pla-cf, pa-cf and pet-cf. So how does the K1C differ from the K1? Creality has changed or improved several things. For example, an improved extruder with metal gears that feed the filament. Yes, I know that Creality first advertised a full metal extruder. The camera that had to be purchased separately for the K1 is also already included. The pulleys that drive the belts are smaller. This is a positive effect on the ringing problems. And Creality has installed a new unicorn nozzle developed in-house. One highlight is that the nozzle goes up to the extruder, so there is no longer a Bowden tube in between which reduces blockages. The nozzle can also be changed easily without having to dismantle the entire printhead. As this is a hardened nozzle, it enables the printing of carbon fiber filaments such as pla-cf or pet-cf, which would otherwise mill through the nozzle, similar to glitter or luminescent filament due to a particle it contains, like I would through an all-you-can-eat buffet in a Chinese restaurant. Another nice side effect is that if something does get blocked in the nozzle because, like me, you wanted to print pla-cf too hot and too fast, you can easily clear the way again with a metal rod supplied. If a filament gets stuck in the area of the nozzle that is no longer heated by the hot end, you can also heat the metal rod, with a small burner for example, at your own risk, and melt away the stuck filament. An air filter is also included. This is clipped onto the back and is intended to filter away filament particles, for example when printing with ABS or ASA. Together these are definitely great changes that greatly improve the printer. Speaking of improvements, a like for this video and a comment here helps the YouTube algorithm to suggest it to more people, and a subscription helps you to receive new videos from me automatically, so pretty please. So, what do I like about the K1C? Actually, mostly the things that I have already described as differences. The K1C is now actually what I wished for the K1 to be on release. A printer that works out of the box. Well, almost it is. That brings me to what I do not like about the K1C. As with the K1 and K1 Max, the Bowden tube in the drag chain goes too steeply into the extruder to convey the filament without problems, which means that the Bowden tube should be removed from the chain as with its two namesakes. Although this is no real effort, it brings the problem that the Bowden tube then rubs against the lid. So a self-printed razor is advised to raise the cover, which is not really a problem. What really bothers me is that the holder for the filament is on the back of the printer. Seriously, who actually came up with this idea? This means that you should print a holder for the side. Such a holder is already included as prepared G-code, but I wanted one with ball bearings. The link is in the description. If you have those two things done, the riser and the filament holder finished and mounted, the K1C is a really nice, well-rounded printer, which can also be routed with little effort if necessary. Link to the famous GitHub of Kirill is in the description. This method also works perfectly fine with the K1C. Should Creality now come around with an AMS or MMU, Creality could actually come a step closer to another well-known manufacturer. I, for myself, am very curious of the things to come. So, what is my conclusion? The K1C is what the K1 should have been when it came out. A nice all-rounder for prosumers with the option to use Clipper to its full extent. Good possibilities with many different materials. And let's be honest, CF filament is really sexy in terms of looks, and it should be more stable than normal PLA. My personal advice, if you're considering the K1, go for the K1C. So that's it from me again. I hope I could help you, and if you want to buy the K1C, despite or because of my review, you will find affiliate links in the description that help me with this channel. I'm off, yours Jan.